Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an awesome life. It's early, it's a little dark out, and I'm having coffee, and I'm going to share something very important with you because, you know, I like to supply the tools for you to manifest anything. Do you believe that's possible? There are things about our human body and beyond that we don't understand. Why? We have restricted brains and we're trying to put logic to things that can't possibly be logical in this material world. All right, so we're going to talk about a critical, secret, major that could help you, that would tap into the unlimited power that could manifest anything. Now, you know, I give you a lot of 1 step, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 3 steps. I hope that I can get you to focus on things. Why do I do that? Focus creates. I do not believe in law of attraction. You'll see me put it all over the place because I know you relate to that. Why don't I believe in law of attraction? I believe that you attract nothing. I believe that you absolutely just go into whatever it is you desire. You either believe it or you don't. You are either it or you don't. You're not. Why? Because there's nothing out there you need to attract. Why? Because you are not separate from anything, and we're going to talk about that right now. This is major stuff. When you accept the fact that we are one thing, do you know that? We are one thing. This is science. Everything is entangled. Everything's entangled. Sometimes they say, oh, there's entanglement. No, everything's entangled. All right? So I don't care if science says that or not. Everything's entangled. If they're not saying it, hang around a while. They'll eventually say it. How can we not be entangled, all of us, if we're one thing, right? Now, entanglement, when we refer to entanglement with science and quantum physics, we mean that if I desire something, and I'm on a certain frequency, I absolutely believe it, know it, it's done, right? Then I'm now putting that request into the universe, which will now turn the waves into a particle, because in the material world, there's linear time and things have to happen. Otherwise, we would say, I hate you, I wish you were dead, and you know, somebody would drop dead, right? So we must have certain rules and laws here to allow us to manifest certain things. That's why you can focus on something and desire it, and then you're over here 90% of the time, my 3-second manifesting, thinking negative thoughts. So then that's what you're manifesting. You won't wonder why, oh, well, I'm going to manifest. No, you're manifesting all the time. That negative thought, you're manifesting. Somebody said, what does she mean by, you know, what am I manifesting? Well, here's the question. What are you manifesting? What are your thoughts right now? That's manifesting. It's not something separate. This is the key. Nothing is separate. You are always creating. Now, I'm going to use the word creation in this video because this is going to really drive it home. You're always creating. Every probability exists. You are not separate from those probabilities. They are not out here. You don't attract them. You are part of everything. With your focus, it comes in. All right? But the issue with human beings is we're not really focused on that which we desire. We're focused on that which we don't desire, so we're manifesting that. I desire this. Why isn't it happening? I believe in it. It's, well, yeah, you may be. You think you are, but over here you're saying, no way, I don't deserve it, I'm not smart enough, my parents say it's evil to have money, all this other garbage goes on in your head. All right? You believe it's something separate from you that is out there that you have no real access to. You want to believe it, but you don't. When you know, and we're going to talk science because this is not like, oh, well, I'm going to create this concept that I want to believe in, and then to make it, no, we're talking science now. This is real stuff. Proven. Proven that when you focus on something, that probability starts to materialize. In fact, the moment you look at it, a thought, an object, a situation, anything, your actual thoughts and your attention to it, because you're an energy field, is now working with that other energy field to create entanglement. That, in other words, there's something going on here together. That's why somebody's thinking of you, you're thinking of them, you're entangled. Boom, they call you. You're on that frequency. You are now part of that one energy of which it comes into play. That's psychic, abilities, intuition, all these other things. Go down here, join me on my next webinar. We're going to do this stuff live. This 2 to 3 hours, every month, 2 to 3 hours we're going to spend together. You sign up for $29.95. You get to work with me live. And we're going to talk about this. How do we do this? But in this video for a few minutes, I'm going to tell you right now. When you know you're one energy, you know that absolutely every thought counts. You're creating it every moment. And when you believe you're separate from something, you disempower yourself. Why? Because if you believe something, it's true for you. This is how powerful you are. You're allowed to disempower yourself. All right, it creates that. You're limited. You're limited. Okay, and then you decide you're not limited. You go, oh, okay, well, then you're not limited. Not because it's separate thinking about you or for you or what it's going to give you, because you are it. You're the very power that's creating. You're creating, you're creating, you're creating. Get rid of everything else. You're it. So somebody said, I'm afraid to say I'm God because God will punish me. I'm like, okay, you believe you're separate. You are not God. You are of God. We're all God as a collective. I'm not saying I'm God. Or somebody said, you likened yourself to Christ. And I'm like, no, I'm likening everyone to Christ because we're all one energy. And Christ came down and said, ye are all gods. These things you shall do and more. And we can't get it out of our head that we're like one beautiful, amazing, powerful thing. And as soon as we know this, the entire planet will change. Now here's the key. This is going to be the toughest thing for you to do. When you know that you are one energy and you accept that, you are now the most powerful you that you can be. There's nothing off limits. Now you can use it for whatever you want. The higher frequency you use it for, you're going to ascend, you're going to go into this amazing space. So let's always keep that in mind. We want to be on a higher frequency of love giving. So here's the critical piece that goes along with this. This is not separate. If you know that we are one thing, which we are, proven, and we are all sharing the collective, which we are, proven, all of your thoughts are in there. You share all thoughts. And remember, when you have certain feelings, sometimes you are picking up on the collective energy. If it's down, if there's frequencies of planets are moving and we've got electromagnetic fields interfering with it. We are electromagnetic fields ourselves, right? We're all connected. So we will pick up on each other's stuff. That's how powerful we are. So it's not just you. Sometimes you wake up and you're like, you're feeling weird or whatever. Don't forget that you are connected to everybody. A lot of you are empaths, and that's not an easy thing to be, but you can use it for... Don't think that's not a negative thing. So learn how to use it properly. All right? So here's what could possibly throw you for a loop if you don't grasp this one energy fact. No one else is separate from you. If you think anything or anyone is a problem, you are now separating yourself, you're disempowering yourself. Everything, everyone is you. It's a shared energy expressing itself because you are not this person. You are the shared energy. We're all just expressing ourselves. When you find fault, when somebody else has a problem, you separate yourself and you create an isolation and you disempower yourself. You are now no longer tapping into that unlimited quantum field. Why? Because you created separation. And the quantum field allows you to do that. Yeah, that's how powerful you are. You can create your limitations. No one's a problem. No one makes you feel bad. Illnesses are brought on yourself or just scheduled, contracted so that you could experience something. Maybe something that you have to overcome. No one else is to blame for anything. Your parents were pre-contracted. You all have agreements so that you could experience certain things to overcome. If you think they're a problem right now, then you're not getting the whole purpose of being with them, and that is to move past that, to forgive, to become something amazing. So many people, then you empower people, negative people then. If you allow them to bother you, you're empowering the negativity, and you're going into that negativity, and then you disempower yourself. So if somebody does something to you and it's not pleasant, it's not okay. But if you can bless them and move on and just be this amazing peace, the opposite of what you're blaming them for, then you accomplished your goal. And now you've put that into the collective, and you bring the whole frequency of the planet up and beyond. When you believe you are separate, you disempower yourself, and that is one of the biggest barriers to manifesting like that. No one is a problem, ever. The planet's not a problem. How can it be? If you are thinking that way, you're contributing negatively to it, and you are the problem. All right? It's all here to work itself out with its own personal contracts, its own personal paths to work out. We are not here to judge that. We are here to raise our frequency to be the best and to give and love and do something good to change the planet. Not to find it a problem, not to find them a problem, not to blame. And that's all I hear all day. So-and-so's a problem, blah, blah, blah. No, they're not. No, they're not. You believe they are. And when you stop believing that, you will empower yourself beyond your imagination. How? You're opening up gateways to peace, abundance, light. Everything exists there. There are no barriers or blocks. You don't have a bunch of boulders up against the door. I want to stay in my little safe place, and all those people out there, they're the problem. No, they're not. You're thinking that makes you the problem. All of us must end that separation. The finger pointing, the judgment, the blaming, that's all negative. And it's not real. We're just here experiencing things. Some of it's very painful. But only struggling against it creates true pain. Struggle can be eliminated when you accept things and you realize what it is, and you can let things go. Right? Death. Oh, we're all in death and okay. They chose to go out that way. All right. And if it's somebody you know, it's tough. It's tough because they're no longer in your existence here, but they're not gone. They're off to something amazing. Trust me, they're really doing well. Okay, so let's let go of the struggle. The sadness, the pain, the stories, the garbage. These are all barriers, and you could manifest unbelievable things, but you're finding problems all the time. Problems. Why can't I do it? There you go. That's why you can't do it, because you got some story in your head right now believing that it is separate from you or something else is separate from you. Nothing's separate. You're the wealth, you're the health, you're the joy, you're the enlightenment. You're all of it. You just have to switch into it. And you have to take those steps to get there, to reprogram yourself sometimes, right? It's not always easy to do it overnight. We're human beings. We've been programmed, so you have to catch it. 3-second manifesting. Catch it and switch over to that positive thought. Catch it and switch over. Catch a barrier, find a solution. Finding a barrier, find a solution. You keep doing that, and your life will change. Somebody said he thinks somebody's standing behind me. Sometimes I see things moving around the room. We're energy, and anything that would be in here is energy. And there's nothing to ever fear. Nothing. Nothing has power over you. What are you going to do with your life? There's no barrier between you and anything you desire. You do not have to ask anything for it. Something is not out there granting anything. You are the power. And those of you who are Christians know this. Read your Bible. There's nothing separate. You can create anything, a button or a castle. Don't judge that. And so many people think it's wrong to have the castle. Why? Humans have told you that. Does anybody else of a higher power never does? They tell you there's no judgment. There's no big or small or wealth or poverty. There's nothing. Everything's just an experience. So if you want to experience the wealth, you experience the wealth. What are you doing with all of it? That's the key. Are you making a difference on this planet for yourself and others? No separation. So every moment of this day, look around and ask yourself if you're separating yourself from the Republicans and the Democrats, the Christians and the Muslims, the blacks and the whites. Oh, for crying out loud, we're one energy. Get over it. There's no separation. It's just we're all just expressions. There's no right or wrong. Ever. Ever. Somebody says, oh, what about murder? Nope. Not judged. We have to come out of that. We have to come out of that negativity and know that everything's playing out and we're done with that. And the more you contribute in a positive way and stop pointing fingers and saying right or wrong, then you become the one, and you are so powerful beyond your imagination, and you can manifest anything because you'll see no barriers. None. There's nothing you need to attract. You're it. You're whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. My coffee's getting cold. Namaste.